Chapter 6. Analyze, prioritize, and assure the quality of requirements. Let's talk about what makes a good quality requirement. Think of this as your gold standard for clear, organized, and properly documented requirements. Now, you can't just stop at gathering information. As you analyze things, new questions will pop up and you'll find yourself going back to the drawing board. It's like when you ask for directions in a new city, get halfway to your destination, and then realize you need to double check where you're going. The same thing happens in requirements engineering. You need to keep refining and checking until everything's crystal clear. This iterative process, going back and forth, means that you're constantly polishing the requirements. The end goal is to ensure that they truly meet the project's objectives, requirements, not solutions. A quick reminder, requirements tell you what needs to be done. They don't dictate how to do it. You don't want to jump straight to solutions. There are many ways to meet a requirement. For example, let's say the requirement is to know the time. The solution could be a wristwatch, checking your mobile, looking up at Big Ben if you're in London, or even using an app on your phone. Same requirement, different solutions. Stay open-minded at this stage. Avoiding poorly expressed requirements. Here's what not to do. I want a user-friendly system. Okay, but what does that mean? Maybe define user-friendliness by how quickly people can learn it, or by its popularity. The system must never fail. Be realistic. Nothing's 100% fail-proof, and you want requirements to be testable. Response time must be 2 seconds. Fair enough, but give it some wiggle room. Maybe say something like 50% of transactions should complete within 2 seconds, 30% within 4 seconds, and so on. Your role as the analyst is to guide the business in expressing their needs clearly and accurately. Requirements analysis, the funnel approach. Imagine a funnel filtering through a bunch of requirements. Not everything makes it through to the final cut, right? That's because you need to look for overlaps, conflicts, priorities, and testability. For example, do some requirements conflict? Maybe security is clashing with usability, like when a super secure login makes the system harder to use. Your job is to sort that out, get the stakeholders talking, and work out a compromise. Also, check for duplication. You don't want to waste time on requirements that repeat themselves, just like you wouldn't pack 2 umbrellas when it's only meant to rain for a few hours. Business rules. Now, let's not forget about business rules. These are do's and don'ts of how things work at an organization. You've got 2 types of business rules. Constraints, the non-negotiables like legal regulations, operational guidance, how the business prefers things to be done. To analyze these rules, you might use different techniques. For example, for data constraints, something like a CRUD matrix, create, read, update, delete might come in handy. If you're dealing with decisions, maybe you'd use decision tables. Defining the requirements. When it comes to prioritizing, you need to keep the big picture in mind. You're not just looking at the immediate need, but also how these requirements influence people, processes, technology, and maybe even organizational change. Let's say you're rolling out a new IT system at work. While the functional aspect, the what it does, is crucial, don't forget the non-functional side, the how well it does it. The Moscow technique. Now, a classic way to prioritize requirements is by using the Moscow technique. Here's a quick breakdown. M stands for must have. These are the essentials. Like tea at a British breakfast, without them, it's just not the same. S stands for should have. These are important but can wait until later. Think of them like biscuits with your tea, nice to have but not strictly necessary. C stands for could have. These are the nice to haves. You'd love them if there's time, but they're not going to make or break the project. W stands for won't have this time. These are the things that are out of scope for now, but who knows? They might show up in future iterations. Quality checklist. Finally, your requirements should meet these basic quality standards: clear, concise, consistent, relevant, unambiguous, correct, testable, traceable exercise for you. Now, take a moment to think about the requirements for a small project you're familiar with. How would you apply the Moscow technique to prioritize them? Try listing out at least 2 requirements for each category: must have, should have, could have, and won't have this time. Reflect on how you would ensure each of those requirements is testable and clear. That wraps up chapter 6. Take a breather and keep working on refining your skills. Prioritizing requirements isn't just about ticking boxes, it's about delivering real value to your projects.